All right, everybody. Do me a favor when you can hear me, if you could just chime on in there. Just because it's a new microphone I'm trying, I just want to make sure that you can hear me, and then I'll get started. So again, just comment that you can hear me, then I can get going. Kenny, can you hear me? Kenneth? Or can somebody hear me? Otherwise, I have to change mics back. Oh, excellent. Yeah, this was Father's Day present. Brand new microphone, so glad that this is working out. Hate to return Father's Day presents. Excellent. So what we're going to do today is I'm going to go through the same thing that I'd be doing myself. I'll try to get some questions out along the way. There's, it's an interesting slate to kind of get through, and this weather that is permeating Baltimore makes it extra difficult. So I'm going to keep an eye on that, which is the excellent. I'm going to keep an eye on that weather. It is the first game to go off, so I'm kind of hoping we get a little more clarity before game time, because my view on weather is maybe a little bit different than others. So it's going to be clear that Houston is going to rate as the top hitting stack on the slate, given if you knew it was going to play, right? And it was also going to gather a whole bunch of ownership as well. So there are two ways to look at it. If there's, depending on the level of risk there is in the Houston game, number one would be, well, if you feel that there's a chance they play, you should play Houston, because now you're going to get the top stack at really reduced ownership, because people are not willing to take that risk. I am, at least for this, until I'm proven otherwise, I am operating under the exact opposite assumption. What I'm going to do is I am probably just going to fade all that, because it's not just if they play, you get Houston at lower ownership, great, but that doesn't guarantee they win. But if they don't play, that's a zero. I don't think people realize how bad a zero is. I mean, I'd much rather have a 100% chance of a team that I think is, probably 60% to be the second best stack, than a 50% chance of a team playing, even if I thought they were going to be 15% owned, if there's 50% of the time they get zero. So I'm on the opposite. I'm on the opposite of this. I mean, unless I get some kind of clearance this game is going, I'm just fading the whole thing. I really think that's the right way to play. But hey, you guys will do what you want. What I'm going to do is first 30 minutes at least, I'm going to just go through my board, presuming that everybody's playing, and then because it's an interesting slate regardless. So for those of you that watched the earlier video, my thoughts have changed, and part of it is because of the updated ownership. I was able to see earlier, I had some of these pitchers at much more reduced ownerships, and they're actually coming out. So it's not as if you're getting the same type of huge ownership discount that I thought you could. But nonetheless, just for those of you that didn't kind of follow this, I'm just going to do it the way I'm doing it. Is I'm looking at my rankings here on the right, and forget Abraham Toro for a second and Chase McCormick. They're obviously, strong values. But just looking at the pitchers here, and I can re-rank them by pitchers. I have all these guys really close between Darvish, Gibson, Montas. The difference between their projections as a function of their value is very, very small for me. It's not like sometimes you have a case where you have somebody have a value score of like 50 and then like 15 down to the next guy. Here, everybody's really close. So I'm going to really try to be a stickler with ownership here. So like when I see, for example, Darvish at 36% owned, I'm going to probably fade that, at least a decent amount of it. because the difference between him and say a Montas. See, but here's the thing: the difference between him and Montas is I think actually reflective of the ownership. See, that's my big change, is that I'm not going to be completely fading Darvish because I don't know where the better option is. Because Montas is a little less owned, but then there's a little worse value, right? Arias is a little. I guess Arias is probably the better play, right? Because Arias, I have him ranked very, very similar, if not equal to Montas, and I have him significantly lower owned than Montas. So for me, if I were going to pay up for pitching, which is I think I'm going to do in some lineups, I think Arias is going to be the way that I handle that, not with Montas. Okay. And the second pitcher, I still like Gibson quite a bit. He rates to be kind of like really close to the top value, and he's not the highest owned. He's like 17% or so. So for me, I would rather play him than say Odorizzi, who I have him ranked a little bit lower and higher owned. Now again, you might think that I'm kind of like splitting hairs here, but I really believe that that's the way to play, especially in the hand-built lineups. We're going to do the MME stuff in a second. Oh, that's a little further down the road when we do SaberSim. But I'll tell you the really interesting play that I think I'm going to make here. And this is, you might feel this is kind of gross, but you can get, J.A. Happ at, 8 under 10%. Remember what you're getting here. If you get him to have like a good game somehow, you're also going to get double, triple leverage. You know what I mean? Because you're leveraging against Gibson, who will be a little higher owned. You'll be leveraging against Odorizzi, who will be higher owned, and you'll be leveraging against all of those people who are going to be, I guess, correctly playing the Reds, right? Because the Reds are going to be the second highest owned stack under Houston, and if there's risk of the Houston game not going, then Cincinnati is going to be the second highest. Going to be probably maybe the highest owned stack. And if God forbid the Houston game blows up, and I mean sorry if it gets postponed, then Cincinnati is going to be enormous chalk. So I actually do like whatchamacallit, J.A. Happ as a kind of an interesting kind of galaxy brain pivot. And you could be dead in the first inning for sure, but in GPPs, I think that's what you want to do. So I think in some pairings, doing something like Darvish with Happ actually makes a decent amount of sense in GPPs, just because of the double leverage you get. Before we head away from that, let's actually take a look at those stacks and see what they look like. Where was this? Okay, so with and we're talking DraftKings right now. We're going to do FanDuel in a minute. So with DraftKings, with stacks, I mean, I do have Houston, no matter how you rank them, either by raw points, right? Raw points, they're a big, big favorite. And with even modified value, they're a really, really big favorite too. And their ownership is like kind of through the roof. So what I am inclined to do is attempt to fade this, right? So there's two ways to do. Number one is to really just double leverage the pitchers, right? So not only will I have to play Happ, but I'd have to play someone else who's going to be low owned also. I just don't think I can get away with playing Houston at this type of ownership. Like phones are ringing all over the thing. It's like a disaster here in the sheet tunnel. But I do think this Baltimore idea is really interesting because Baltimore I have ranked, at least on a modified basis, is very similar to Cincinnati, and they're going to be much lower owned. Now, again, this is just the way that I kind of play and the way I look at it. All right. Remember, projections are very, very fragile in baseball, but I know that I'm getting leverage by playing this way. So just for kicks.
My name is Hannah. I'm calling on behalf of this insurer company.
All right. I'm just going to hang up on that.
Island Golf Resort in regards to the voicemail that you a couple of days ago, wanting to make some dining and spa reservations for your
All right. Well, I don't know. I'm getting the voicemail, by the way, on my phone somehow.
We can always be reached at 843-768-6251.
All right. Anyway.
Again, my name is Hannah. We look forward to seeing you soon. Goodbye.
So I can't really show the DraftKings lineup, Bill, but that's kind of what I think I'm going to do. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to do something with Hap, and then maybe Darvish, and then play these Baltimore guys. Because I don't think I'm going to get a lot of leverage out of the Reds, because that's where everybody's going to do. I don't think I'm going to get a lot of leverage, obviously, out of Houston. The only other thing I might do is maybe Minnesota, but maybe that's the idea. You play Minnesota or Milwaukee with the higher price pitchers, or you play Baltimore, with the lower price pitchers, and then you play Baltimore with the higher price pitchers. So let's say I was going to play, let's say I was going to really just go double, whatever you call double anti-ownership. So let's just say I'm going to play Urias and Hap. Okay. If I played Urias and Hap, I could show this because I'm not filling out the whole lineup. Okay. So if I played Urias and Hap, let me see.
Call from
I know it's like
Call from
phone just keeps ringing here. Now again, the Baltimore problem, by the way, is the same problem as Houston problem, right? Baltimore problem could be weather also, so maybe that's not the right idea. You guys get to hear all my messages as they come through on this phone for some reason. So why don't we try this? Why don't we fade Cincy? This is going to be the ultimate GPP lineup, because we're going to fade Houston. We're going to fade the fade, like fading Cincy, and then we're going to play maybe something like Minnesota and Milwaukee. So what I want to do is I want to go and pull up the stacks and see who I would want to take in this. So it'd be Kepler, Buxton. Well, Donaldson's out, I think, right? Cruz and Polanco. So let's put these guys in. Minnesota. I think, didn't they just announce the lineup here? Let me just see. Let me just see something. Donaldson. They may have a lineup on Donaldson here. It says no Donaldson. No Donaldson. Okay. So what we do is let's put in, we don't even know from Cruz either, right? So anybody have a lineup for Minnesota? I guess nobody has it yet, right? Bless you. We don't know Cruz. We don't know Donaldson. Is that what we're saying? No, we have this. So we have Cruz, but no Donaldson. So let's play Cruz, and then Buxton, and then Kepler, right? Kepler, and then Polanco, right? So let's put in Polanco. Okay. So let's just play with these four. And then Milwaukee for the others. So we have plenty. We have 4,500 a man. We can do this really easily. So let's say we played Narvaez, Vogelback, Wong, and we could even play a one-off at third base. Let me just see who I would have liked here. Actually, I probably shouldn't do this, right? But that's the idea, right? This would be kind of like the ultimate in like leverage, because I'm anti-Darvish, I'm anti-Reds, I'm anti-Houston, right? And I have Hap. So I'm not saying you have to do this, but I think I'm going to play like this a little bit. Okay. And again, these are going to be the hand builds. What I'm going to be doing in the MMEs, I'm going to let Saberson kind of decide this for me. But I'm going to have to do it a second time because whatchamacallit? Because I got to make some kind of adjustment for the weather, but just to show you guys how I do this, let me pull up my the SaberSim. Pull this up here. Okay. And again, just to show you what I think I have it already uploaded here. So what I did was I took my updated projections and I uploaded them here into the module. So I have this, and then what I'm going to do is I already have I'm playing like a lot of lineups here. So what I'm going to do is here are my entries or whatever already in there. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to change everything, and I'm going to identify which ones I want to do. So let's just change this one. I'm playing like a full 100 lineups in this knuckleball because only $5 entry fee. So let's swap all of this out. Let's swap all these lineups, and we're gonna just let it roll. Let's see what kind of percentages we get if we MME here. And unfortunately, I'm just gonna have to change this because if the weather's not the way I want, I'll just exit out. I'll have no problem doing that. I'll just X out the Houston game if I don't like it. If there's any kind of risk at all, and we'll see what happens with it. But for now, I mean, obviously, no surprise. I'm getting a whole bunch of a whole bunch of Houston, right? But I'm getting a good amount of Milwaukee. So we're going to download these, and then what I just do is just replace those with go to my draft. Where was my DraftKings? And then we'll edit this. Upload this. We'll upload this like this. So that's DraftKings. Now I'm looking on the side and I'll see. I still have to do my hand builds, but again, that's where I'm going to probably just go a little bit bananas. What do I have? I have I'm playing the 888, the 555, the other one. Maybe it's not the greatest idea in the world to go as Cuckoo, but I think I'm going to anyway. Let me get another weather update, then I'll do FanDuel. No, nothing yet. Nothing yet. So now let me take a look at FanDuel, and then I'm going to do that one. I'll go through this, and I'll let you guys know what I think of the slate, and then we'll go up and get questions in a minute. But let's first go through this. So with FanDuel is very interesting. It's not quite as tempting. Well, it still is pretty tempting, man. You have Merrill Kelly. I have him ranked very similarly to Yu Darvish at only 1% ownership. So I feel as though I'm really supposed to play like a whole bunch of Merrill Kelly and a whole bunch of Aaron Savali, and just basically fade the crap out of Darvish on FanDuel. So I think that's what I'm going to end up doing in my hand builds for sure. So that's where I'm at pitching wise. It's going to be Darvish. He rates the best, but he's owned like so much more than everybody else. So for me, it's going to be either Savali or Kelly is my top, GPP type pitcher. But then let me take a look. And I could do that one for you guys live as I do it. But let's just take a look first at the stacks. Okay, let me pull this over. FanDuel stacks. Okay, so same deal. Houston rates the best, and then you get Cincinnati next. And then after that, once again, it's going to be Milwaukee, and then maybe Arizona. So what I'll probably do is in my hand build, my ultra uber fade, is I'm going to probably key in on Milwaukee. Okay. So we're talking about Yelich, Garcia, Wong, and Vogelbach. And then maybe secondarily do something like Arizona with these dudes. So let's see if we can do that. You want to do that? Let's pull that up. Let's pull up my FanDuel. Should be somewhere. Okay. FanDuel it is. FanDuel. We're going to edit this. This is going to be like the main lineup. I think this is what it is already, right? So this one's got Savale. See, this one's got Houston. So let's really go after it. So let's take out the Cincinnati's. We're going to probably put Cincinnati's back in. But let's start with Houston. Okay, so it's going to be, looks like it's going to be Yelich and Garcia. And who is it? Wong, was it? Let's pull the right guy up here. Milwaukee is going to be Vogelbach, right? Vogelbach, and Wong. So now we have 3750. We could do pretty much whatever we want, right? So we could either do kind of 2 2x2s or 4 1-offs or just stack the reds. Okay. Either of those things work, but I don't think there's a really a good red at shortstop, if I'm not mistaken. Let me just take a look at that a second. Yeah, I didn't really have a really good shortstop there. So what I think I might do is just go into my one-offs and see who a good one-off would be at shortstop, and then maybe I'll fill in the rest. So let's take a look. So here, Dames is a good shortstop, as a matter of fact, from the Milwaukee side. So what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to get rid of one of these Milwaukees in the name of, maybe taking a really good red or something like that. But let's put Adames in. I didn't realize that Adames was a guy that I was going to be having in there. So let's put Adames in. Yelich. Which guy do we want to get out of here? These are tough. We like them all. The way I want to do this is let's see who the top-rated guy is that I don't have. That would be McCormick, but he's on Houston. So it would be Aquino or India at second base. So let's get rid of Wong. Okay, let's do that. Then we'll fill in reds. So we'll do Milwaukee's and reds. I think India's second base, isn't he? Yeah. So you're India at second base, and then we have like all kinds of money we can spend. So we can really just go for the guys that can project the best, right? So on a raw basis, let's see who else is from this Reds game. Got Castellanos, Winker, Suarez. So let's put these guys in. Ooh, Suarez at shortstop. That could have been what I did there, but let's take a look. I put Suarez here, right? Then we could put Winker here. Got plenty of money here. And then we could even do a one-off of Buxton if we wanted to, or we could just go to Castellanos and leave 800 on the table. Oh, that'd be so badass if we can get away with it. You know what? Let's do it. Okay. All right. So that's the way we're going to handle the whatchamacallits, the hand builds. Now we're going to do the same thing with with using SaberSim with the MMEs. And just so you guys know what we're doing, I'm going to do this. Then it'll probably be like 6:30. Then I'll take some questions. Then we'll maybe get a weather update. So let me go back into SaberSim. I forgot where I left it on my. Oh, here it is. So let's go back into, let's go to FanDuel. We have the updated projections in there. So let's do the same thing. We'll go late swap. We have 21 lineups there. Well, hold on. We want to rebuild. So here, 21 lineups. Swap, even though it's not technically a late swap, it's still considered late because I've already entered something. So let's build this way, and then again, it's going to be the same thing. We're going to have to get a weather update and then make a decision, and we'll do that in a minute. So let's see what I get here with my MME lineups. I get Darvish. Ooh, I do get a decent amount of Merrill. Well. Get 23% Merrill Kelly. I like it. Savali, Arias, Gibson, Azalai. And okay, fine. So let's download these. Let's pull up FanDuel again. Wherever they are. FanDuel. CSV edit. Upload file. Entry. This. You guys want to know what I'm up to, so I'm going to just show you before we go on to questions. I have to also just do one more run of my degeneracy, my hockey showdowns that I'm putting in. Again, if I'm gonna do it anyway, I put the sheets up there. So I actually did run some lineups for this, so I just have to. Otherwise, I will forget. And again, I put all my projections up in here already, which makes life really easy for me. Just going to do one more run here and change my lineups just one more time, just for the hell of it. I remember liking these builds, but I'm going to do it anyway. So let's edit entries. There's something. Somebody's out of a game here. All right, so let's entries. Oh, it's the same thing. Good. So let's do a late swap, and we will late swap all these. Probably going to get a whole bunch, by the way, of the of Vasilevsky, I imagine. Just take a look. Yep. Oh, but not that much. Oh, good. I like it. So we'll download this, and then we're just going to upload this on the other. Well, I can show you how to do this, right? I upload this over here. Entry showdown. Now I got to see who I'm supposedly I have a lot of guys who aren't playing that I have in baseball lineups. So let me just take a look who those are. Oh, Maldonado. Okay. So I want to do one hand-built change before I do anything else. I could put Vote in. He's not bad for now. And we'll do that. So I got to really figure out what I'm going to do with this Baltimore thing. But for now, let me see if I do have any questions. If I have any questions, I'll address them. Otherwise, I'm just going to continue doing what I'm doing. Baltimore game will be delayed. Delayed is fine, but is it going to not play? That's the question. There's got to be a percent chance that it doesn't play that makes you want to fade the whole thing, right? I mean, you know, bad zero is. So let me just see if there's any more looking here. So far it is delayed. Is that the story or not? Let me just see. Let me just see something. I can't show you this page, but solid note. No. So it's not officially delayed yet, right? Because some would argue that if it's delayed, that's actually good. That, you know, that they're intending to play it. But maybe Baltimore realizes that they're ready to get their asses kicked, so they want to postpone the game. Is that a thing? I certainly hope not. Okay, so the hockey is in. The baseball is just awaiting for some. You know what I'm going to do? I am going to build that whatchamacallit lineup. Radar looks good after 8 p.m. Okay. So what that means is that what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave the Houstons kind of as is in the MME stuff. Yeah, I saw that too, Adam. But the other thing that I saw, by the way, is that it's not just the rain. It's going to be huge winds, and I don't even know which way they're going. I just know you're supposed to not play this, but I'm going to do just the combination of it being so chalky, and all that variance. Pretty sure you're not supposed to play it. I can't guarantee it. You know what happens if you're wrong. If you're wrong, then you're fading a really chalky team, which probably is not the worst idea in the world anyway. And if you're right, then you have really, really strong leverage, obviously, over the people that played Houston. And I'm telling you, if you play anybody else except for Cincinnati, you're going to really, really be the nuts. You know what I mean? And I don't mean the nuts. Obviously, it's not always going to happen, but you're going to be in this really strong shape. Like if I'm telling you, you play Milwaukee or Minnesota, God forbid you find a way to play the Dodgers or the Padres. You know what I mean? Like they're all going to be so low owned relative to their chance of actually doing something. I really think that's something you should do. And just to kind of put more money where my mouth is, I am going to do this right now. We're going to build that lineup that I was yapping about, and I'm going to just not play the last couple of spots in here. That's what I'm going to do. So we're going to clear this. I'm going to bring this up here, and we're going to do exactly what I said. Well, maybe not exactly what I said. Like if you wanted to go full on psycho, you'd go Hap, you'd fade Darvish, right, and take Arias. And then you'd fade the Reds and the Astros. And then really what you do is play all the money in the world. Well, that's not true. You're 44.50. So what you then do is play, and I'm going to do this right now. It's not going to be Baltimore because, same risk. It's going to be either Minnesota, is that what we said, or Milwaukee. And if I rank them by raw, it would be Milwaukee or Minnesota, same thing. So what you're supposed to do really is do a combination of Milwaukee and Minnesota. So let's take a look and see if we can't do that. Well, you definitely want to play Yelich, right? That's for openers. I'm pretty sure that you're going to want to play Narvaez, by the way. But so Narvaez and Yelich. And then you're going to want to play probably Wong and Garcia. Maybe not Vogelbach. We'll take a look at that in a minute. Let's play Wong and let's play Garcia. And let's see what's left. So if we did that, see, these Minnesotas are a little annoying because you know what? You have Cruz with comes out of neck stiffness. You could play Kepler, I guess. But then again, you have these terrible shortstops. Let's fill this. You want to play a Dames? You want to do a 5-man Milwaukee? Do a 5-man Milwaukee. If you did a 5-man Milwaukee, you're targeting Merrill Kelly, which can't be a bad thing. Then let's look at how the one-offs look. What positions do we need? We need first, third, and outfield. I mean, I can't tell you exactly what I'm doing, but 4,100 a man. I mean, I see somebody that's pretty good there. Ooh, that guy looks pretty good. Oh man, we could game stack that. Well, I could leave 2 spots open. They won't get mad at me, right? So, who's playing this? Who's playing Christian Walker? I don't know. We're gonna find out. So yeah, and then you just need a third baseman and an outfielder, which should not be very difficult to come up with. Let me take a look over here on the other page. Hold on, projections. Yeah, it just can't be from that game, which is fine. Play, that's pretty good. You could play him. And then who's at third base? And you can play him. Wow. Yeah, I guess that's what we're going to do. So I'm going to put this over here. Oh, you can't play Hap because, right? Because you're playing Hap. Oh, my. Let's see. I'm using a new mic, though.
You are?
I am.
How's it going over?
Everything's great. We could play. Oh, we could play him, can't we? And then we could one off him. Oh, my goodness. Yep. I think this is the deal. Hey, if we get away with this, we're gonna be heroes. Good luck to you, Mr. Sheets. So that's in the 4max, the medium, and the walk-off, and then we're gonna also play this in the lottery. Why not? Oh no, there's the lottery right there. There's the lottery. Just to put the money where the mouth is. And I got one more lineup. I want this another hand-built one that I have to fix. Oh, actually, this one's okay. Darvish. Oh, wait, what is this? Wait, where's my Hap lineup? What did I do? Come on, Eric. Did I really not do it right? Arias, Hap. Gotta be kidding me. We're gonna do some totally another page. I'm sorry about this, guys. This is like ridiculous. DraftKings just kind of rebelled on me here for a minute. I know I could do this again, right? Hold on. And then we'll come back to questions again. Hold on. I think this is all this is. I want this lineup. I want this one to change to this one. So it's going to be Darvish, Hap, right? No, it's going to be Arias, Hap, right? Yeah, right. So Arias, Hap, right, and all these guys, right? So let me put this in. I don't know why it didn't let me do this. Ash, can you close the door? Okay, so what did we say? Yelich, Narvaez. Did I say Vogelbach? I thought so. Wong. And then I thought it was going to be this guy. Who did I say? Right, Cabrera. Okay. I think this dude. And this dude. Is that what it was? Oh, right. It was going to be this guy who nobody was going to play. Right? Right. Okay, so that's good. Let me just see. Look at this one. Just one more hand belt, guys. I got to fix here. Brantley's a little bit chalky, so let's replace him with him. And then maybe Votto's a little chalky. Well, I shouldn't say that. Place him with him, and then we're good. Okay, so I'm good with DraftKings. Take a couple of questions, and then I will finish up my FanDuels. Let's see. Is there any data on runs scored after late start? No, I wish. Could be. I don't know. Yeah, man, Kenny. I don't know. I think I'm into that. Actually, I think I might. I think that's the last thing I might do is build a Baltimore in a hand belt. And when I say a hand belt, those are like the bigger buy-ins. So I think that is what I'm going to actually do. So why don't we? Well, let's clear this. And let's build one out of these Baltimores. So let's take a look and let's see who the hitters I would have liked in my in the Baltimores. That would be, let's just read these off to you. It would be, and they're all pretty expensive. So, I don't know who's going to play these guys, but it's going to be Mancini, it's going to be Mullins, it's probably going to be Galvis, right? It's going to be Galvis. It's going to be Hayes. Severino starting? Oh, he sure is. He's always a good guy to play. I mean, you could play this, and I don't even need to do anything, right? I could even play Darvish if I want. Can I pay up for both these guys? Do I even want to? If I get Baltimore home, it'd be nice to be sitting on those two pitchers right at the end. I mean, you can certainly fill in these spots pretty easily. Let me just take a look real quick. I can fill in one of them. I mean, you could go freaking chalk you could go chalk Toro, right, if you have to. I mean, he's going to be really popular, Toro. I would imagine. I mean, 2,100 for Christ's sake. And then really anybody. Who's pretty good? Who's a good play? It's maybe DJ Stewart instead, huh? 2,600. Yeah, I'll just leave it, I guess. Just leave it. I mean, then this kind of builds itself, right? I don't have to show you the rest of this one. Now what you could do is you could totally root for that whole game. Oh my God! Then you play this. I mean, this is too easy. Let's just see what happens. Let's do that one, and we'll do that one. Play these two. Okay. Severino, Darvish, Reyes. We're going to put one more in the knuckleball. So I have 100 entries in that knuckleball. Okay. All right. Sounds good. And I guess the FanDuels I can keep, right? Straw's the only low-owned guy in Houston. You could be right. You could be right. I mean, these guys, this is the Reds and the Brewers, right? That was leaving 800 on the table, which no one's going to do. I like it. And Savali. I like that. So it looks like Milwaukee's my cross to bear, right? That's what I'm going to be. That's what I'm going to be rooting for. I don't have to do this. I could spread my risk out a little bit here. Let's. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to have some fun. I'm going to have Saberson do it for me. How about that? I know some people don't like that, but they do a good job with the building of the line. Is better than I could by hand. Why shouldn't I? All right, so let's change. FanDuel, just so what you could do is you could identify which ones to change. So we'll go into entries and let's just change the we'll change this one, the qualifier. Yeah, we'll change the qualifier and the single entry. And we're going to swap those and we're going to give it a little bit more respect to the projections instead of the whatever. Okay, so this one uses Merrill Kelly. Excellent. Download new entries. Yeah, that's fine, Wes, but just I'm telling you in advance, I'm the worst. If I don't answer the DM, it's like they say, it's not you, it's me. I really am the worst. You could try though. I don't want it to seem as though I'm definitely going to get back to you, and then I just don't. I really just am just the nut low when it comes to answering the DMs. You can answer in here. You can ask in here if you want. Why don't you ask in here anything related to SaberSim? You know what I'm going to do I'll actually be better. I'll actually do a separate thing. Not today, but why don't I do? You know what I should do? You know, Wes. You know what I think I'm going to do? It's a good idea. I'm going to get Max and one of the SaberSim guys on, and this way, any questions I can't answer, they could probably answer, and I'm sure they'd want to. They do have like so many awesome videos on like how to use the stuff. You just search it on YouTube. But yeah, feel free to fire off a message. If I get to it, great. If not, I do apologize. Okay, so I'm kind of happy with what I did there. Changed a little bit of that. You know what's kind of cool, by the way, with SaberSim is when they build the stuff, they leave like money on the table, and it looks really uncomfortable, which is fine. Can you imagine leaving 1,000 on the table on FanDuel in a baseball lineup? Probably not, right? Which probably makes it worth doing. Oh no, but it's fine. You could tell we're not. I'm Wes. I'm really over that. You know what I mean? Like another product. I mean, I'm just trying to make. I'm just trying to make money and show you guys what I do. So if you have a question about like anything paid that other sites do, I have no problem really discussing it. I'll tell you like what I use and what I don't. I've been fully transparent with that kind of stuff. But I do have quite ask whatever question about optimizers, because I have a lot of thoughts on optimizers in general. But you want something cool? So look what I did. So this is I'm not going to do. You want to know? You want to know what? We don't want to get involved in optimizers too much on our end. It's because it's no way that I could create something that is so much that is as good as anybody else. But check this out. This is actually kind of cool. So I actually created my own, like, it's a single lineup optimizer. This is for golf and for NASCAR. I mean, you could do it for others, but this one's good because it allows you. You don't have to like combine people. It's like 6 players. You put the salary you want, and it spits out like one lineup based on the numbers you put in the salary and the projections. Shout out to I think JT Hayes' his name. He's the one that kind of showed everybody how to do this. So like if you wanted to I could run my own kind of optimizer here. And boy, I wish that it would have shown me who won last week. I don't think this would have done it if I played this in the whatchamacallit, in the US Open. I don't think having Bryson was going to do it. Actually, this is not even this slate. This was an earlier slate. Let me see where we're at. Yeah. So Wes, this is what I like about, among other things, about SaberSim, that really nothing else does, is that it builds lineups that considers correlation, considers ownership, which is so huge, right? I mean, I don't see, and it's one thing to like just say, oh, I'll just set an ownership, limit. This is different. And it takes into account like the correlations of these players, like for example, I could click on Jose Ramirez. It'll actually show not only distribution of results, but who he correlates within the same game, and the level of correlation, and even, how he might correlate with the Chicago guy. So I listen, I mean, I know Andy for like a while, the guy who's the CEO. I know him back from poker, but this to me is great. I mean, this is what I use, and that I'm not saying I'm right, and I don't care about the price. You know what I mean? So I'm not judging it based on that. I don't know I really don't know I do have Fantasy Cruncher, whatever it is, but I don't know. This is just what I use, and it's my upload and my projections works really nicely. And you know what? Their projections are actually not bad. They're better in some sports than in others. You know where they're awesome, by the way, SaberSim, if you want to like just use projections, is LOL. I mean, they're really, really good. So what I do with my projections, by the way, is like when I show let me look at I'll just pull up, for example, one of mine. I don't know if you saw the video I did on this, but like you see like when I put, say, fantasy points, and let's just say ownership, like the way I come up with the ownership based on what other people are coming up with is I actually did a back testing thing where I actually rated like which places did the better job with different sports, and I ranked like this. Like here, this is some of my like back work on like different things. Like I rated different sites based on how close they were to ownership projections, how close they were based on points projections, and based on that results, I overweight and underweight certain sources with respect to certain projection models and things like that. So I would when I say that LOL, that SaberSim in and of itself is actually really good at LOL, it's because I've actually checked. So when I come up with like all this stuff, this is not my prediction of the ownership. What this is a kind of an industry, not average, but it's like industry weighted based on my back testing of accuracy, which is, hey, I'm not saying I'm right or wrong, but I would put this up against anybody because the more samples, the better. The better the samples they are, the better. Anyway, I don't want to get too into that, but let's just say that I've done a lot of work, and hopefully pass that on to you. And again, all this is data, man. I'm not saying that. Yeah, sure. I actually did like a video on this. So like right now, like for baseball's actually like really, really close. But the last time I did a run for this was like a while ago, is I actually had, and it was I shouldn't even say because it was really close, but actually SaberSim in baseball was better than either Roto Grinders or Daily Roto last time I did the run for baseball, which is actually very very interesting. Where it came to like NBA, for example, NBA actually Awesemo was the best by a non-trivial amount, actually, with respect to points and also with respect to ownership. I thought in and of itself, I thought they were the best. Now, obviously, the best always is the average of the four. And I can't get this, if you don't understand stats a little bit, you understand why that's the case. But you can almost guarantee, not guarantee, but it's very likely that the average of a whole bunch of data points is going to be more accurate than any one particular one. Just the way the law of large numbers works. And PGA, what did I have? Last run of PGA, I was more interested in the ownership than anything else. Daily Roto was actually the best with respect to ownership. The reason why I felt that ownership, here's like kind of a trivia question. Why do you think that I care more about the accuracy of the ownership projection than that of the fantasy point projection? Give you guys like 1 minute to think about that. And that's one of the reasons I did this. I mean, it's obviously it's better to be closer than not close in the projections, but the reason why I found it more important to be accurate with ownership than with points is because, again, like all you're projecting with points is a median outcome, and you never want the median outcome, like ever. So like if you're gonna, you know what I mean? So I don't really need them to be accurate with respect to median, and that's kind of like the great projection, whatever you call it, the great projection, either fallacy or the great projection paradox is you don't want the projections to be accurate. You know what I mean? You want, obviously you'd rather have one than someone who's less than him, which is why you start with the projections. But the thing about the ownership is if you are correct on the ownership, that is directly leverageable. You know what I mean? Like if you knew for sure, you know, if you remember, because when you compare an ownership amount to the ownership projected, that's important. You're not picking a low owned guy just hoping that variance is on your side is going to be lower owned, like you are with actual points projections. Like points projections, you're planning on a good median, hoping that you get upside from that. In ownership, you just want your ownerships to be accurate, so that you can leverage them right. And if you think about it, if what I'm trying to do is, and let's just go back to SaberSim for a second. So if what you're trying to do is perfect, or not perfect, if you are trying to improve the level of inputs, right, that I'm putting into the Saber system thing, right? If I want the best median projection and the best ownerships, and I am allowing it to make lineups based on those ownership projections, then the tighter those are for me, the better. So, boy, it's going to take a while with the boom bust score tool. I think it's misleading in a similar way to the stacks tool is misleading, where it says, what's the percent chance it's the highest owned, it's the highest projected, it's the highest performing stack. I don't like that, okay? Because let's say, all right, here's a good example. Let's say that the Astros were all let's say they were all projected to score 50 fantasy points, each one of them, right? They're not going to. And let's say they were all 8,000, right? They were all $8,000 in salary each. What do you think their chances would be to be the top scoring stack? Probably 100%, right? I mean, if they have to get 50 points each, right? 100%. What do you think that their average ownership would be? Well, probably 0, right? Because you can't play them because they'd be so expensive. So if you go to a stacks tool, which compares chances of doing something to ownership, you'd say, oh my God, you have such leverage playing a team like that. Well, great. Thanks a lot. That doesn't help me if you can't play them, right? Just because a team is low owned doesn't mean you can leverage that. It could be that they're low owned because they're just priced up so much that you can't make it work, right? So I'm not too into the stacks tools over there. And the boom bust tool too. So here's my problem with the boom bust thing, whether it be with either the Roto Grinders or Awesemo. Like Roto Grinders has their similar thing, like the smash percentage and thing like that. I'm interested in the smash percentage, like the chances that they exceed their median. And similarly to Awesemo, I'm interested in their chances of exceeding their median. But you know what I'd like to know? I'd like to know by, what chance they are of exceeding it by a lot. You know what I mean? And that's kind of what I want. It's not like, I'm going to get just as much credit for beating a 10-point projection by getting 10.1 as I am for getting a 10-point projection and scoring 30, right? So it's not so much the percent chance of beating a median. I want to know how much it might beat it by based on what type of player it is, right? If that makes any sense. You're on TrueDFS for NASCAR, nobody for anything else currently. Yeah, so I just want to give you a little bit of, Wes, I want to give you a little heads up. I don't think, like, if you're going to be on TrueDFS just for I'm going to say just for NASCAR. I mean, you should use it for other sports because I don't think Pierce is going to be doing this stuff up for us on NASCAR anymore. I think he's going to be writing for DraftKings, and he's going to be, he's still going to sell a spreadsheet or something like that, whatever it is. And yeah, you might be able to still buy the stuff over there, but I don't know if he's going to be a regular guy over there. I'm just not sure what's happening with that. Because I'm pretty sure that's going to be the case. I still put my stuff up there. I'll still put my stuff up there for NASCAR, and I'll use the same sheets I use for everything else. But I would hate to advertise myself as a NASCAR expert. Although last 2 weeks we hit the big one, we chopped the big one over there. Yeah. So Wes, I mean, all I tell you again about what we're doing over here is you're getting transparency. What you're getting is basically Bobby and my process and how we do things. And in part of that is me recommending other places. And I have no marketing license. I have no anything with any of these places. I don't get paid anything. They don't pay me. I don't pay them for any of their stuff. So when I say I like SaberSim or I say I like Awesemo, when I tell you Daily Roto is the best with respect to ownership projections in PGA, it's only because I use that information for my own benefit, and that's it. And I'll be nothing but truthful when it comes to that. Hashtag TrueDFS, even though I didn't create that title. And that's about it. All right, that's all I got for you guys. Good luck to you, and special guest tomorrow. I'm fairly certain that the live stream tomorrow will be Bobby live from Sheets' house. We will see if that actually happens, but apparently that is going to be the case. So we'll see. We'll see how it goes. Baltimore's delayed. What a surprise. Good luck. And